So what are you guys doing today?
We're going to finish that wall coming down. We've got one side up. We're going to bring our cage on up to this side, and then we're going to make our corner for our toe down on the end and get ready for cement. So it's a brisk day. Everybody's ready to work. Rope, rope, rope.
Don't nobody drink my damn fucking Red Bull, my energy drink, or my single Gatorade. Please and thank you.
Yeah, we gotta put steak along.
I don't know, bro.
He said to you, y'all can drink his Red Bull, guys.
Yeah, if you want a foot in your ass. And Robert's gonna be like, I told you not to drink it. Alright, I'll hold it right there for a sec.
Imagine trying to pry out a like mud, for example. Say you're trying to lift up on a piece of rebar and you're going to lift up on it. Yeah. But if there's another piece of rebar on top of it, you've got to lift not only the mud, but also all the weight of all the rebar on top of that. Yeah. But let's say the L was above that rebar, it'll come right out. And that's the exact same thing that can happen over concrete over time as it cracks. So that's why we're always thinking about how we're layering the bars and in what situation do we need it. But hey, good morning, everybody. Sorry I was late this morning. I had to go get materials. Justin and I, we went and got another 20 rolls of wire. I also got, I think we got almost 50 stakes for the next foundation build we're going to do. And so the other piece of news I have for y'all is we're not going to do the gunite spray tomorrow. I know, right? We were really pressed for time to get that done, but as it turns out, the gunite crew called up and said, yeah, we can't make it on Friday. So I tore him up on the phone. I was like, I can't believe you're messing my schedule up.
We were pushing to get it done.
And they're like, oh, we're sorry, sir. And I was like, but actually, we weren't really going to be ready. I mean, we were going to be working till almost midnight tonight to get it done. But so anyhow, we have 2 days. We have today and tomorrow now to get spun up. They're coming out to spray on Monday. So what I'm going to do, it's going to allow us to extend the retaining wall a little bit more, to get some more gunite sprayed. And I think Boone and I will work on that today. It's hopefully be pretty quick and easy. You guys keep on tying steel and working on that. And then I'm also going to break off and work on the pool foundation. And I'll be working with you, Robert, and Justin, Mike, and Boone. So when I'm not here, we can build that foundation. So I'm going to be digging the beams and actually dreamt about it, like how I'm going to get the mini excavator up the hill and dig all these beams into the solid dirt and get out the soft stuff without dumping the excavator over. So it's going to be exciting, but we're going to get that done. Be ready for the spray on Monday, and so we'll still work hard because we still have lots to do. And I'm adding more work on, of course. So we're actually not really ahead now. We'll be behind again, don't worry. But yeah, that's the little piece of information I had. Why I'm not rushing out here too early this morning, but got all kinds of materials, and we'll be ready to go. But after this meeting, if you guys get back to work, keep tying the steel. How about Gavin, Robert, Boone, Michael, and Justin? Y'all meet up with me. We'll roll out the plans, and I'll kind of we'll give a plan of attack for next week. It's a short week. It's Thanksgiving week, obviously. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday we'll be working. I think everybody's taking off, obviously, Thanksgiving. Who wants to work on Friday after Thanksgiving?
I'll work.
1, 2, 3.
I'll wait.
4. All right, good. So we're gonna be hitting it hard after Thanksgiving, and I need one more concrete guy. Knows how to tie steel and do forms, and then your guy that you guys can do framing and carpentry. I'd like to bring him out. So if he wants to come out next week, give them a call. That means we'll be able to break everybody up, I think, into 3 crews. We'll start hitting the dock heavy. We'll hit the new foundation. We'll be doing a lot of forming, and then we'll get into the steel tie-in. So very, very busy, I think. So I think having those extra 2 people on board would really, really solidify things. But yeah, you guys got any questions right now?
No, sir.
All right, ready to break.
Oh, actually, yeah, dude, I got 2 of these reels.
Grab Gavin.
Gavin! Where's Gavin?
Oh, I already scribbled on this one. Good.
Great.
Gavin.
I think he went to his truck or restaurant or something.
You had to drop it like it's hot.
All right, well, you guys, we can back brief them, I guess. All right, so here's foundation plan, right? We got it backwards from orientation, but so what we're doing, the very, very first step, and we've kind of started talking about this, but I'm going to be on the Mini today excavating all this. So our first portion is we're doing this lower beam. So I'm just going to kind of highlight it here with the pen. So we're just building this portion right along here. And I actually took the liberty, and I'm going to extend it out. I think I extended it out just to line up with the edge of the hot tub, about that far. And I'm going to hash this so you can kind of see what we're talking about. Highlighter would be great. All right, Gavin.
Yes, sir.
So another 5 feet out.
It's about 5 feet. I just figured since we're in the concrete business, we might as well maximize it. So that's the portion of the foundation we're doing first. And if you look at the measurements, we got 2 beams. Each beam, as the engineer drew out, is 12 inches thick. Well, okay, great. We've got a 4.5, almost 5 foot beam of what they've drawn. So it would have been 12 and 12. That would have left 3 feet in the middle of the bag. But what the engineer left out was, as we talked about in the past, when we add the gunite pool on top, is actually adding a foot thickness to the edge of the bottom pool beam we're pouring, the basin. And by doing that, we actually end up with a beam, a double beam. So it's going to be 24 inches thick on the bottom. So we end up with a foot, 2 feet, 3 feet. That leaves 2 feet to bag in the middle. And that's just ridiculous. And so the engineer calls out right here, fill between beams may be omitted and cast with concrete. Yeah, no kidding, because concrete's way more strong and durable than bagging it.
No cell phones, please.
I know, no cell phones. So, as we dig this beam, I'm digging down to subgrade, down to rock, and I'm gonna over dig by about a foot or 2. And what we're gonna end up doing is probably tomorrow, myself, Robert, and Boone, and you guys, we're gonna set these bottom boards right here, this very first flat, flat portion of the bottom pool. And all we're doing is just gonna get the stake down, roll light, just so we know exactly where it is. We're also gonna come over here and stake this portion. It's not a very, very long portion. That's we're actually taking the beam all the way around out here. It's not a very long portion. It's only about 6-8 feet. We'll get that measurement on it. We'll get that flat portion. And then what we're gonna do, which I had a brainstorm last night, is how we're gonna build this perfect arc. Boone and I, either today or tomorrow, we're gonna lay down 4x8 plywood on the ground, and we're gonna effectively lay sheets that look like this. I'm gonna overlap them on the ground. And we'll lay those sheets around in an arc pattern. We're gonna come put our string line here in the center, and we're gonna take 2 people with 2 tapes. We're gonna measure from here to here, here to there. And wherever the center point is, where they actually match up to the exact same equidistant point, that's our center point of our circle. We'll mark that point with a stake, put a string line on it, and we'll get a heavy-duty marker, and we'll mark it around, all the way around, on the plywood, and then we'll cut that plywood in that perfect arc. And then at that point in time, when you guys come by and next week and you start building your form boards, this has got to be real stout, because I'm estimating it's going to be at least 8 feet, some portions 10 feet out of the ground. So when we build this, it's going to build a wall straight up, and we use 2x10s, or actually it'll be 2x6s probably in the garage.
2x8s.
2x8s, yeah. Something really stout. And then we're going to run out at least, whatever the height is here, we need to run out at least that same distance. So if we go up 10 feet, we need to come out 10 feet. And we bought all those stakes today that we can stake down and nail down into the ground. And then we'll do bracing back at 45s.
Yeah.
Okay? And when we do that, this has got to be able to hold a 5-foot wall, 5 foot wide, 10 feet tall wall of liquid concrete. So this right here has got to be stout, real stout. And when we build this arc, it has to be arced plywood. And if you envision the arc, this is going to be kind of like the arc as it's going around. This is the inner arc. It's just going to be boards about every 8 inches. That's a terrible arc. But anyhow, if it arcs around like that, the boards will be sitting like that vertically. We're looking down on it, plan view, and these will be the 2x8s, it could be 2x4s, but they got to be. If you do 2x4s, they've got to be braced even more. But if we use the 2x8s we have, and we brace these things around every 8 inches or so, 10 inches, and we arc it around, and then we'll screw in the plywood like that, and we'll put 2 sheets of plywood on those arc sections, and then we brace all these back at 45. So this structure here is going to be, I mean, it's going to be a big, massive wall of wood. Yeah, real strong. And then the concrete truck is going to come in with a pump and just fill this thing full of it. Now, that's probably the most time-intensive part. And then we got to tie all the steel in it. And let me just use this. Just use some white space here.
Do you have a concrete vibrator?
I'm going to acquire one. But yeah, we definitely need one. Yeah. So, thinking about a beam. So now I'm just going to take a cross section of the beam of concrete we're going to pour. All right. So this is roughly 10 foot tall, right? Mm-hmm. This is going to be a total beam length of about, I think it's about 50 feet in length that we're pouring. So what we're going to do is the engineer calls for on the top rebar, it's got a mesh, a double cage mesh of number 5s. And I'm gonna make this very clear for y'all, so when y'all start, and I'm not here next week, but y'all be able to see that double cage number 5s on top, a foot thick, 1 foot. Okay. Underneath that, then he's got a row of number 6s. Top, he called it out as top beams and bottom beams of number 6 rebar. Okay, and then when you look at this, expand this out. Now we're looking down it. So you got your number 5 cage right here, right? And it also runs like that, number 5s. Now right here we're going to run number 6s. And that probably about every foot, every 12 inches. So you'll have 6 number 6s right there. You do the exact same thing on the bottom with number 6s. The engineer calls out every 18 inches number 4s. Okay. Because they're just not doing a whole lot in the middle. Yeah, number 4s down it. Okay? So that's number 4s, which is light steel, heavy steel, and they got the cage on top. It's going to hold up the pool and hold up everything behind it. So if the house wants to shift down because of the just natural gravity on the slope, it'll be pushing back on it. Because when we do this beam, we're digging down in the dirt. Eventually I'm going to push the dirt back to it. And the rock is right here. This is rock. And so it's holding it back. And then right here we'll push the dirt up against it. Then I was talking to Gavin about this yesterday. I want to put a rock lug on the outside of this. I think what we're going to do is we're going to come back and do the rock lug later. So we'll do dowels that stick out 4 inches, and this is probably sticking to this foundation about 2 feet or whatever. And that these little dowels will come back, and we have another concrete pour, and we'll put that rock lug on the edge of it and just kind of dowel it in. Because what I don't want is I want this thing, when we build this thing, that structure, I want it to be super strong, and that not be worrying about a rock lug and trying to build that in. And that way we'll also be able to set the rock lug to the right height once we get everything else done as well. And because we put the driveway up to it, because the driveway will be driving right by the side of it. The driveway will be here. There's no reason to have the rock lug down below the driveway, so we'll set the rock lug at the same height as the driveway. But I was just thinking we'll plan ahead and put these dowels sticking out. So piece of cake, right, compared to the retaining wall?
Oh yeah.
All this is one big giant beam of concrete.
Yeah, I can hold a skyscraper.
It is skyscraper concrete. Matter of fact, I think this is probably, well, skyscraper, they used number 8 steel, I think. But we're not quite going that big, but this thing is going to be a 12-foot tall, 5-foot wide, 56-foot long seam of solid concrete. Yeah. This thing will be here for 1,000 years.
Yeah, this thing is.
This is Hoover Dam type stuff.
Well, do you want to go ahead and make a bunker out of it and put some turrets? For the boats coming in? I mean,
well.
side.
Oh, look.
Watch it. Watch it, Jay. You just screw it down, guys. Alright, yeah, you're good. Rails.
Alrighty.
Which side you at? Got good over there? Back here. I'm back here.
Yeah, that's why I want to go too far down. Here, I can go down right here.
Yep, watch out, Robert.
Can Robert grab him?
Oh, yeah, one on the ground there.
You got it?
Just drop it. You're good.
Sure, okay, here it goes. I'm dropping him.
Good. Go ahead.
Then they gotta find somebody that's just as good as you, and you know ain't many of us.
Oh, cool. I can't take credit for this because Boone formed this up. He did a fantastic job. He did it all by himself. I heard it coming.
Yeah.
I heard it coming. Got it. There you go. There you go. If you want, man, you want a nail gun and we'll hold this together?
We needed like a couple.
Sweet.
Slide your way.
Hey, Sean, this is Mike. Hi.
Mike.
Pleasure to meet you. Yeah, he does electrical work. So anyhow, we're just gonna talk about a few things and clip what you would like. And he agreed to be on camera a little bit. So, Sean, thanks for coming out, man. Taking a look at this electrical project we've got going on.
Yeah.
So we got obviously you see the garage behind you.
Yeah,
It's
right,
about 3,600 square feet, and most of it's already wired up. But I'd like you to do a check over on it and just get a real good, kind of a good quality check.
Yeah.
Because I know you came highly recommended. So take a look at that for me, and then the main house, which is the big one, we won't be out of the dirt for another about 2.5 months. But once we start framing and all that, I'm probably guessing we're going to need a full electrical bid on this house, which is 6,500 square feet.
Yeah. Wayne mentioned 6,000. So
yeah,
that's pretty
exactly. It's big. So I've already bought all the fixtures. I've bought all the switches. Pretty much everything I've already purchased.
Awesome.
Yeah. So the only thing I'll need is on your bid is I'll need a pretty much all the amperage. Like the 400 amp service to the garage, 200 amp to each building, and then the underground we're going to trench it and lay the conduit, but we'll just need the wire pulled. Central Texas Electric said that they're going to need. They called it 350 on the wire, on the copper wire? MCM. Yeah. It's pretty thick stuff to hold that amperage.
It's pretty big.
Yeah, it is. And I think it's pretty expensive. But
yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to go aluminum underground. I want to go copper all the way.
Yeah, I would suggest
and
that.
so there's at this house. And so I was kind of coming up with a number, but it's about 150 LED fixtures that have to be wired in.
Okay.
Just standard plugs in every room just to meet code.
Okay.
And that's it. And then the eaves, if you look in the eaves on the garage, you can see about every, I don't know, 10 feet or so, there's an eave light. So we're going to do that on this property as well. So it's real high, and one of these days we'll run a cherry picker, and that's the time we'll install those lights.
Like a
it's
boom
easy.
lift?
Yeah, exactly. It's easier for everybody.
Okay.
And it's going to get high in the corner over here. So that's about it. So the property is going to have a pool, and I was trying to run the electrical off the pool electrical and the dock electrical off the house electric. Because the garage, we got electric car, so we wired in. We wired in 4 plugs for electric cars, and the amperage load on the garage could be quite high.
Yeah, especially on fast charging.
Exactly. Yeah. So each house we've designed, and I can get in more detail with you later, but it's all about solar panels. And each house having, we were using in-phase, and they have a smart panel system that allows the house to keep running during an electrical outage. And it's pretty neat. So it'll disconnect you from the grid, and then you'll run on it. But I'm also looking for a guy to help me. We can install the solar panels, but we're looking for an electrician to actually connect it to the grid panel.
The system.
Yeah, In-Phase had like a 30-minute online training just to get acquainted with their equipment.
Yeah, I'd want to probably check that out.
But yeah, it's mean, for somebody like you, you'd be like, oh yeah, piece of cake. Yeah, I mean,
somebody would be like, yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, you already know what you're doing.
Forward.
I know. Yeah, click, done.
Yeah, I want to check it out.
So yeah, so we're looking at potential solar panel install, the full wire of this house, pretty much labor only because we're going to buy everything, and then check over the garage, all the underground wire to it. But I'll buy that. I just need it pulled.
How long? Do you,
it's a good run.
Okay, because stuff like that, it's always best to have that wire laid out and slide the pipe over it.
Oh yeah, before you lay it.
Because that's
it's very thick and heavy and it won't bend very well. Okay.
Yeah,
see, I already like it. You already saved us a whole lot of time laying conduit.
That'd be a chore.
Okay, cool.
I've done it.
Yeah,
but it's when I was 20, 25.
Yeah, what are you, like 28? I mean, come on.
Yeah, a few years ago.
Okay, so we measured it off. I think it's a 120-foot run because they're going to drop a pole on the street. And as you can see, the pole cuts through the property. They're going to relocate that pole. So we're going to go underground from that pole, and we're going to go around the backside where the main 400 amp service is going to go, and that's where we're going to break off to the 200 amp panels.
Okay.
And it's almost like just 2 breaker panels, 2 breakers there that go to each sub panel on the inside of the house garage. And then we're going to have another quick underground run, 200 amps to this house. And I'm envisioning, I know you don't see it, but the house edge is right here.
Yeah, we're going to put a kind of where.
Yeah, I know the stakes are the inside wall. So this is, if you kind of look, right here is the face of the house. And there's a little indention in the house. It's a great place for electrical panel right here.
Okay.
So
it's more of this.
Yep. So this is the sub basement. It's like a walkout basement, and then up on top will be your first floor. You walk in on top of the hill. Exactly. The garage is going to tie in right to the first floor.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And then we have a 3rd floor above it, and so. For load analysis, we're going to have 3, maybe 2 AC units, but I'm estimating 10 tons of cooling on this property. We're going to spray foam the entire thing. So we can talk to the AC guy. He was saying maybe 2 units, but he said maybe we could maybe do 3, isolate them that way. But amperage load shouldn't be too heavy. 10 tons for the size of house. I mean, a massive house, but we're really insulating OL. We're putting we're actually going to do open foam cell with 6-inch walls. The R value is going to be, I think it's close to 50 or 60. So it's pretty extreme. So
good deal.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I just want to look forward to your bid because finding a good electrician is really hard. It's been really tough.
It seems to be that way. Yeah. Up here anyway.
Yeah.
Houston, obviously it's more populated.
Yeah.
But more of a concentration of them. But yeah, here it's few and far between. Seems like
I've contacted 6 or 7 of them, and you're the second to show up.
So really? Okay.
You're 2 out of 7, so you get an A+ for showing up.
All right. Good deal.
Awesome. Okay.
And you have an AC guy.
Yeah, I sure do.
Okay.
Do you do AC work too? Yeah, kind of a little bit.
Yeah, not too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you want, I'll show you inside just what they have going on.
Go and check it
this
out.
little curved portion right here that Boone just did, this is like a mini foundation, what we're going to be doing behind us. That's going to be much more stout and about that tall and probably even taller. So, yeah. But where we have 2-foot gaps between the boards, they're probably every 8 inches we're going to have a board. A 2x6 or 2x8 behind it, supporting it.
10 feet tall and braced all the way back. It's going to be stout.
All right, you wanna lay this one out?
Yeah.
Yeah.